friends. What is happening? Welcome to Vintage Unboxings at Harry's. First up, this is a very special episode. Wouldn't you agree, Steve?
Oh, is it ever?
This is a special one.
Oh, this is going to be
This
good.
is issue number 14 of the Vintage Unboxings at Harry's. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do something a little bit differently this time because it's so special. We are actually not going to unbox a vintage model kit, but we are going to unbox a model that's fairly new, but extremely expensive, hard to get. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my dream model of all time. I've always...
Are you enjoying your
recently,
Tetley's,
as soon as
mate?
I heard about this model, maybe...
What is that, mate?
I don't know, 5 years
Oh,
ago.
my Lord.
It was the
Iceberg,
one model I wanted
straight
to build.
ahead.
The one model I've always wanted to build in the last, say, 5 years. But if I would have known about this as a kid, I would have wanted to build this kit. And so this is a very, very special episode because I have to tell you, my friend Harry and the team here at Harry's Hobbies got the model for me. And I cannot believe it. And you are going to be excited when you see the model and we unbox this model. It is going to be something you're going to want to tell your grandkids about. You are going to want to, you're going to watch this video over and over and over. You're probably going to want to take a few vacation days off of work to watch this video over and over and over. And I hope it inspires you. And also, before we get to the unboxing, this Sunday, Steve, what's happening this Sunday?
It's big. It's going to be Harry's
model show spectacular.
Beautiful.
And yeah, I'm going to be there. Steve will be there. It is going to be absolutely the greatest model show in the history of model shows. I know you see these, model shows, the IMPS and all this other stuff around the country.
No, this is going to be big.
This is not even close. Since Barnum and Bailey Circus stopped performing, this is like a replacement to that.
This is big. I believe Putin and Trump
are supposed to sign a peace. We're not supposed to say this, but Putin and Trump are supposed to sign the peace deal at the model show. So if you want some history, you should come there and at least to see that. And then listen, I'm going to be judging the big model show. And if you win best in show, coveted best in show, here is the trophy that you get. Does this look familiar to anybody?
Look at this, folks.
Yes.
See that image?
This is what you win. This is what you win. Did I have it turned sideways?
It's beautiful. Oh, here we go.
There you go. So this is what you win, Best in Show trophy. That is obviously me, the Pope of Plastic. A pretty good likeness of me. And I can't wait to see who takes this home.
Well, and did you remind everyone in viewing land that they'll be able to tell the winner because black smoke will come out of a chimney.
Yes, white smoke.
White smoke.
Not
sorry.
black
No,
smoke.
that's true. That's true.
White smoke. White smoke. Okay, enough rigmarole, Steve. This is big. Literally and figuratively, this is big. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm correct, this is the largest plastic model kit produced. And I don't think they produce it anymore because it was so expensive to produce that they don't produce it anymore. And if you want to get one, they're very expensive. They're in the $500 to over $500 range if you can find one. And ladies and gentlemen, iceberg ahead! Iceberg ahead! Ladies and gentlemen, the Trumpeter 1/200 scale Titanic, ladies and gentlemen. Women and children first. Women and children first. Ladies and gentlemen, this to me, this is what model building is all about. This right here. What a unbelievable special unboxing this is going to be. I have waited ever since I heard of this. I guess it's been over 5 years ago, Steve, that I saw this somewhere on YouTube or something, and I said, I have got to get this model. First, I'm a big fan of the Titanic, the history, the White Star Line, the Love Boat. I always watched Love Boat as a kid.
Great show.
Poseidon Adventure. I always loved the Poseidon Adventure. And along comes the Titanic, the lore. I remember I used to ask my grandmother, was she alive when the Titanic sunk? And she was born in 1912. And the Titanic sunk in 1912. So she was too young to go on the Titanic, and she never did. But so she really didn't remember the Titanic. But I used to ask her when I was a kid. I would be like, "Mamo," that was what we called my grandmother. "Mamo, did you ever see the Titanic?" No, of course she did. But,
did she see the Poseidon? I hope she wasn't on that.
no, she wasn't on the Poseidon.
But you know, I felt bad for Shelley Winters because she dies.
Boy, she dies as a swimming through underneath.
I felt bad for her.
What a great movie that is.
Excellent.
I love that. That opening of that movie, if you like model building, if you remember, they have the model ship going through the ocean, and the way they achieve that is they slow the film down so the waves look accurate. So they're moving slowly and the wind is blowing off. That's how they make it look somewhat realistic. They slow the film down. But yeah, Poseidon Adventure is wonderful. Wonderful. Excellent. There's gonna be a morning after.
That was uplifting at the end.
Remember that? That was great.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is a Titanic. Let's get down to business. This has the full LED set, so it has lights. It has the lights. This is nearly 5 feet long, ladies and gentlemen, and the hull is not in sections. It's one big, long, injection molded hull.
Holy moly.
Yeah, and that's why the box is so long. And then you can see here, Steve, all the effects, all the lighting, and it comes with a ton of photo etched. Now you can also buy an additional photo etched and wooden deck set for this. The photo etched and the wooden deck set for this is the same price as the kit. It may even be a little more expensive than the kit, but I don't know that you need it. Now, number one, the wood deck, that sounds really cool and exciting and everything else, but my experience with using real wood to emulate like a deck on the Titanic, the wood grain is not gonna scale appropriately to the model, if that means anything to you, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's
So,
right.
which, while it sounds good, it sounds cool, it's not gonna look as accurate as if I go in and paint the detail and make the plank slightly different and all of that. I think I can achieve a better look with paint, believe it or not, than I can with actual wood. That's just me. It's all because of the scaling. So with me, I'm looking at scaling. So here's another example, and we're gonna get to the model kit here in a second. This is important. Like with seat belts, okay, on a car. Okay, everybody's like, oh, I want to put fabric seat belts in the car. Okay, well, they get fabric, and the problem is the weave on the fabric doesn't scale down to what it would look like in real life. So any woven fabric that you're going to use for a seatbelt in a model kit, in my opinion, looks toyish because it doesn't scale down that fine. You're better off using something that has just a slight texture to it versus a weave to it. Same thing with leather. Oh, I want to put real leather in a car. Okay, great. Shrink it down into the car size, 1/18 scale, 1/24 scale. It doesn't scale correctly, it doesn't look right. So
you have to do that with anchor chain on a ship.
Same thing. So you're better off painting the plastic than you are trying to use the real material. As cool as that sounds. Anyway, let's get into this, Steve, because this is exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you the opening of the Titanic. This is going to be spectacular. This is going to be spectacular, Steve. This is by Trumpeter. What do I have to say about Trumpeter? Everybody asks me all the time, do you like Trumpeter? I do like Trumpeter. I like Trumpeter a lot. Now, the problem with Trumpeter is this, and I'm going to tell you, their molding is every bit as good as Tamiya or anybody else in the business. Their molding is spectacular, especially on their newer models. The problem with Tamiya comes down to the instructions. their instructions are not always that great.
Trumpeter.
Trumpeter. Their instructions are not that great. Their accuracy can be something to desired, and that, Steve, is where this phrase comes from. If it's wrong, blame it on Mr. Wong, because our good friend at Mr. Wong is the head of the instructions department at Trumpeter, and he tends to make some mistakes here and there. So when you're building any trumpeter kit, and I'm sure it's going to be true to the Titanic as well, is that you got to work ahead. You got to look ahead in the instructions and make sure that the instruction is correct. I hate to tell you that, but that's from experience. I've built a ton of trumpeter kits, and I work way ahead. That doesn't mean I'm building ahead. I'm working ahead in my mind. So if I'm working on something complicated and it's got to fit into something particular, I will look way ahead in the instructions to make sure that everything is being assembled correctly so it fits in correctly down the road. You have to do that with trumpeter, and I will be doing it with this kit, especially this is a very important kit. So let's see what's in the box, Steve. Now this, let's see, you can get the Titanic detail up set, that's what they're calling it, and you get a bunch more PE. You get the wood. I don't think you need that. I do like the metal propeller blades. I do like that, but I can kind of achieve the same look using paint, so I'm not too concerned about that. Here's how to buy and everything else. Now this is old from, what year is this from? 2020. We're in 2025, so I don't know if they still make this. If it's still available, you can probably find it on eBay. So let's look in here. Here's your instruction booklet. Here's your LED assembly guide, because this does come with lights. Here's your painting schematic for the Titanic. And I'm sure if you just follow this exactly, you're going to come out with a nice, a nice looking Titanic. Now, listen, for me, I'm going to do my own painting scheme. I'm going to do my own. I've already started doing research on this, and I will mix my own reds. I will mix my own tan. Like I said, on the planking, I'm going to be doing a bunch of different techniques to make it look like a real decking of the Titanic. The actual black of the Titanic, I'm going to be working with some different techniques where if you look at the actual photos of the Titanic and the way they painted this back in the day in the 1920s, was, I believe they used kind of like, not rollers, but they were using big, huge brushes to paint the Titanic, which gave it a kind of, not a rough texture, but kind of a hand-painted texture to it. I'm going to be emulating that. I will certainly airbrush the Titanic black and do the red below the waterline, but the texture on the black, I'm going to be doing a mix of black, and then I'm going to go over it and achieve the texture with a varnish, and not a super high gloss varnish. I have a thick varnish. I have to bring it and show it someday, but it's really good for creating texture. I don't want it to look like I painted it with a little paintbrush. I just want it to have a slight texture to it so it looks realistic the way that it was done in the 1920s. Those are the kinds of things I'm going to be doing when I build this. So will I follow this guide? Probably not. But if you're not comfortable with mixing paint and all that kind of stuff, you have a guide here that tells you exactly how to do it. So that's kind of exciting. And now let's get into, let's look into the regular instructions first. Now look at, this is a book. There's well over 1,000 pieces in this model, so I'm not going to go through every page. We'll just jump through it because we've got a lot to look at here. So you got some nice historical pictures of the Titanic, which are good to have, but I would rely online, looking at all different. There's millions and millions of photographs online of the Titanic. There weren't that many taken, actually, so you only have a few you can really look at, but I'll be studying those very, very carefully. And so here's your whole history, which is really cool. Then you have the breakdown of what's in the kit itself. So you have, several sprues, your photo etched, then your LED lights. So in your big giant hull. And first you're going to start out with the hull and lay in your first decking. You're going to get in, and you're immediately going to get into, I think, into PE. You're going to start seeing a lot of PE here, a lot of PE for all the window frames. There's a lot of PE in this kit, which Harry was just asking me, what's your thing against photo etched? For a ship model, I have nothing against photo etched. it makes sense for a ship like the Titanic or any ship, because it's very hard to scale. We talk about this thing again, scaling, to scale down small enough to do accurate railing and stairs and things like that. If you want a truly accurate model, PE is terrific for shipbuilding. And I think it's probably when PE started, PE meaning photo etched, started in model building, was, I'm pretty certain it was for shipbuilding, to get the accuracy of the rails and all the different things to build a ship. So I am not against photo etched in a boat kit. When it comes to airplanes, or when Tamiya's throwing in a sheet of photo etched into a 1974 kit and calling it a brand new reissue of the kit, that's just stupid. This makes sense to me. So a lot of photo etched, window detail. I'm gonna go through this quick because we got a lot of plastic to go through. But you're gonna see a lot of photo etched as we go through this. I know this because I looked online at this instruction booklet before. So I don't, honestly, I'm not very concerned about the building of this kit, and people keep asking me, how long do you think it'll take me to build this? And I think this will take me 2 months. 2 months of straight building. It's not that complicated of a model. It's just very big. And because it's big, it's a little easier to do the detail parts. The two parts that are going to be the biggest for me are going to be the rigging. There are no instructions for rigging in this instruction booklet. So you're going to have to go online, watch videos. There are some people online that I've seen that have posted videos on the rigging of this kit. And I don't normally look at other people's model videos, but in this instance, because there's no instructions for it, I'd like to see what other people have done for the rigging. But what I will certainly do is I will download the actual engineering drawings that Harland and Wolff did of the Titanic, and I will probably use that as my guide for my rigging. Again, going back to historical research versus what other people have done building the model, I'd rather use the historical data to do that. Here's the funnels. This is the most exciting part for me, is going to be doing the funnels. Again, we have photo etched that's got to go in the little, and this makes perfect sense because this would be very hard to mold in plastic. A lot of work on the funnels. Oh, the other part that I was going to say is going to be time consuming. It's going to be the LED lighting system, I'm sure. So I'm going to be excited about this because I'm going to do this with full lights. As it comes with full lights, I may have to add additional lights because it doesn't have lights for every single, only kind of the top portion of the ship. And I want to have lights all the way down. So I may have to add additional LED lighting, and I'm also going to add Bluetooth sound to this, so you'll be able to hear the engines, the steam whistle, the women and children first, nearer to God to thee, Celine Dion screaming at the at the top of her lungs, we will go on, or whatever the hell that song is.
I will survive.
I will survive. I will survive. Diver Down by Van Halen.
Sure.
Anyway, so I'll be able to play actual sounds, and I want to also, and hopefully I'll be able to do that, is I want to be able to add steam coming out of the funnels as well.
Beautiful.
Now, before I get started to show all this stuff, what am I going to do with this model? Where am I going to display it? This model I am not going to build for myself. I promised if I ever did this model, it's big, number one. I don't really have any place to display it. Number two, I don't really keep any of my models. I will be donating this model to either a children's museum or a children's hospital or an organization that has to do with autism, because I have a son that is on the spectrum and it's near and dear to me. But I'm good. The bottom line is this is going to be donated to something that has to do with children. In order for me to build this, I'm going to be taking donations to help me build this model. And if you donate $20 or more, your name is going to go on the brass plaque that is going to be on the bottom of the ship on the base. And in return, you will also get your own individual brass plaque with the Titanic on it and your name and the name of the build and all that stuff. And thanking you for your help and support. So if you want to do that, It's $20 to get in. If you want to PayPal or Zelle me, you can do it to my personal email, which is my PayPal, and Zelle address, which is Rick, RICK SCHAD, Rick Shad at gmail.com. And if you send $20, please just make a note of your name and what it's for, and I will put you on the list and we'll get you on the engraved plate. Okay, enough of this. Now we're going to move into actually looking at this thing. I'm going to save the hull for the very last, Steve. This is going to be the big unveil right here. So why don't we start at this end and see what we got. So this right here. Now let me say, I love Trumpeter's packaging. Trumpeter does a nice job with their packaging.
Compartmentalize all this stuff.
Yes, it's not just a big box full of loose parts. Now this is box C. I don't know what order these are in, so I'm just going. So box C. Oh. Now I'm going to open some of them. I'm not going to open all of these because I don't want a chance losing anything or damaging anything. But I am going to open some, especially if there's duplicate parts. I'm not going to open all of them. But I want you to be able to see. Here is the decking, beautifully molded. And there's separation between all of the planks, which is ideal because I will be able to tape off different areas, do one wash, untape it, do another wash, tape again, do another wash, tape again, do another wash, and give an inconsistency to the color. And I think it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful, I'm not going to over weather this boat. Because it was fairly new, even though it sat outside and was worked on outside. I will add a little light weathering, but it's not going to be overly weathered. But the molding right there is just absolutely terrific. Oh, and here's the side. You can see some of the side windows, Steve. Like I said before, Trumpeter does a terrific. Oh, here's the photo etch. We're going to get in right into the business right away here. So I'm not going to unwrap any of these, but you can see how well done the photo etched is. Look at that. Look at how nice and fine the grates are. Now listen, you're going to want to glue all of this on before you paint. You're going to want to scuff this with steel wool. And then glue it on to the unpainted parts. If you try to glue this onto painted parts, they're just going to fall off down the road. So you want to scuff them up with steel wool, apply them to the plastic. My suggestion is, everybody's like, oh, CA, I use CA glue. Normal super glue does not work well on photo etch. It'll work well for a moment, and then over time it'll break down and it'll fall apart. Here's a little Pope tip for you. Purchase JB Super Weld. JB Super Weld is your magic elixir for photo etched. I've tried them all. Zap Gap, regular super glue, super glue suggested by Joe Schmo, super glue by Bobby McJohnson, everybody's super glue. JB Super Weld. Save yourself some frustration. Just buy some JB Super Weld. The photo etch looks beautiful. I don't need to go over all of it, but oh, here's your benches. See these benches? I'm gonna have to assemble all these benches. I think there's 40 benches. Look at that. Very cool, huh? Yeah. Isn't that nice? Oh, and here's some chain. You were just talking about that. I will paint that black. I will then weather the chain just a little bit. The chain on the Titanic was not raw brass, I can tell you that much, or copper, or whatever the hell that is. Here we go. So let's look at this. Here's another. We're going to do a thorough unboxing. Many people have never seen this kit and have never had the opportunity to open one. So we're going to open one. I'm not going to take any of this foam stuff off, but you can see how beautifully Trumpeter has molded. No seam lines, which is huge, which is great. Wouldn't you agree, Steve? Mm-hmm. This is the stuff that dreams are made out of. Isn't that beautiful? This is the stuff that dreams are made of. Many, 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 many nights I've laid in bed dreaming of the Titanic. Jack and Rose Here's the bow. Oh, look at this. Look at how beautiful.
Beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Well, that is very nice.
I mean, unbelievably beautiful. Look at that. Slight up, slight warp as it goes up. Not a warp, I'd say a slight concave.
Sheer,
yeah. Man, this is exciting. Isn't it, Steve? Is this exciting?
It's literally riveting.
Riveting, yes,
I mean,
exactly.
This is turning out to be one hell of a kit.
It is one hell of a kit. I don't know what clear they would give you, but let's take a look at it. I guess maybe for like the dome, the window. Yep, exactly. As soon as I said it, it popped right out. Look at this.
Beautiful.
See that light glowing through? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Tamiya clear paints, and I'm going to paint the different color like the colored, glass was.
The
you know
stained
what I mean?
glass,
The stained glass. So when the light shows through, you'll see the stained glass.
And you can get pictures of the real dome, so you would know how to paint it.
And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Now everybody else out there is going to steal my idea.
Magnificent.
Everybody's going to steal my idea. I got to put all these back as I do this. I'm sorry, but and there's so much that it's okay. Okay, everybody hold on. Okay, so there's the clear. Now here we get into some fun. Look at the funnels. Look at that. No seam lines. So you're not going to worry about sanding down any of the rivet detail. You just said you were riveted. Look at these rivets.
Beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful? Can't you just hear the steam whistle blowing? All aboard! All aboard, Governor! Right?
Now, would you call them funnels or stacks?
I think they called them funnels.
We're
gonna open.
The maritime crowd has mixed views. It's either a stack or a funnel. And many people say a funnel is what you would use in a kitchen. But
I like the name funnel.
well, it does sound.
I think
nice.
funnel sounds.
It does sound nice.
I don't think the average person who was sitting in the icy waters watching it sink go, "Oh, there go the stacks."
No,
I think they were like,
no.
"There go the funnels, mate."
They're probably saying one or two vulgarities. While they're in
Yes,
the water.
exactly. Look how beautiful.
That is nice.
This is going to be a spectacular model. This is going to be an absolute dream to build, and I can't wait to build it. Can't wait, and I can't wait to donate it. It's going to be cool to see whoever gets it, see what they think of it. And here's, I don't know what these are more, I'm not going to open these. Just more of the little, I don't know, offices.
They're very well done.
They're gorgeous. I think it's the wireless. This is where the wireless was. The Marconi.
The Marconi.
QCD. What we are going to do when we do the light switches to turn the lights on and turn the sounds on, I am going to have my friend from who owns a company here in town. I'm going to have them make a brass housing so it looks like the Marconi signaling device.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to get old copper wire so it sits in the base, and you have that brass, so when you're turning on the lights, you'll press it and it'll turn the lights on. When you press the sound, it'll be, so you're going to be actually a replica of the Marconi device. What do you think of that, Steve?
Excellent idea.
See, I'm a man full of ideas. Okay, some people have made this boat remote control, by the way. Not for me. I'm not a remote control. Well, I love remote control airplanes, but I don't see the reason for a remote control boat, for crying out loud. Anyway, so we're gonna put this. You know what? I'm gonna have to put this down here. Okay, let's go next to this mediums. We got two medium-sized boxes. What do we got here, Steve? Oh, this is the base, which I'm not even going to open this because I'm not going to be using this base. But here is, this gets glass over it right here. I think this was the gym area or something like that. I don't know. I'm trying to remember my... Actually, let's open this one up. Let's not guess. Let's just take a look. How exciting is this to get this thing all open? I waited so long for this model. What is this? Oh, another stack goes on here. But look how nicely... I mean, there's no seam lines at all. Zero flash, zero seam lines. They put a lot of care into molding this this model. I'm trumpeter, Mr. Wong. My hat's off to you on the molding of this. I'll tell you. Hopefully, he gets the instructions right. That's all I can say. Here we go. We've got. Oh, this is the deck. I mean the part of another part of the base, the main part of the base. We're gonna be doing real. We're gonna be doing real wood. I mean, this is okay. We're gonna be doing real wood. Now, these will be fun to look at, Steve. Let's look at this. This is the big profile walls or outer walls of the. Look at this. Beautifully, beautifully molded. Now, unfortunately, I think I got to do some research. I think these are all port windows, or port and starboard windows. These round circles here, I'm gonna have to drill all those out. Hope that's not the case on the bow, but I'm gonna have to drill all these out, which is fine. I have the drill bits. I'm not too worried about that. There's so many screws. Okay, here is your big and more everything, and all photo etched goes into all these windows. I'm going to be putting photo etched in all of this. Can you imagine? Oh, and here's your rudder and your props. We got to undo this and look at this. Props are very nicely molded.
Very nice.
You know, I think I will paint the. I don't think I'm going to do the metal props. I think I'm going to paint these. I don't, because once I paint them, you're not going to know the difference anyway. So, would it be cool to do metal? Maybe. Here's your drive shaft housings as it goes to the outside of the boat. Your rudder. Probably one of the last things that they saw as the boat was going down. Here's some of your davits, part of your davits, I believe, for your for your lifeboats. I don't know what this is, but this is a big something or other. I don't know if that's part of the.
That might go alongside the hull.
Oh yeah, that goes on the outside of the hull. I would imagine, like a stabilizer of some sort. Look, and then we got decals. I'm gonna go with fabric flags. I'm gonna figure out how to get fabric flags made. A lot of White Star Line little. I'm sure these are for the lifeboats. I'm gonna guess. That's gonna be my guess. Is that? Let's take a look here. These are gonna be for the lifeboats. Then you have your notice of the screws and your flags. Let me just open this up all right. We didn't show us the whole thing. Oh, shut up.
Beautiful. White
Some
Star
box.
Line.
Yep. Very nice.
French flag. U.S. flag. Yep.
I'll tell you, these are screen printed decals, which I'm impressed that they did. Normally, normally Trumpeter does digitally printed decals, so that's nice to see. The flags, I want to do fabric flags. Okay, so we already looked at that. So that is the second box. Very cool. Very impressive. I do. I love the packaging.
They're beautiful.
Just love the coloring. Just everything about it is very nice.
A thing of beauty is a joy forever.
Amen. That's right. Yes. That's what they say. You know. Okay, this is box A.
Box A.
Box A. Oh, maybe that was A, B, C. We started from the wrong end, Steve. But I wanted to save the LED lights for the
I
last.
think it was a good opening.
This, what is this? Let's see. Oh, I see bow. These are going to be lifeboats. I'm going to guess that these are going to be lifeboats. And now, Steve, the one thing I saw online that somebody's offering with this kit, and I'm going to have to seriously consider it, is the entire steam engine room.
Oh,
the boiler room.
That would be.
With all the engines. It does not, it's not to go inside the model. It's the same scale as this. You could put it in the model, but it is to display outside of the model along with it, so you can see what the entire boiler room looked like.
That would look cool.
The kit's like $400. If somebody wants to donate and give me the kit, I'll certainly do it. Now, here we go. These are the boats, the lifeboats. Beautifully detailed. Look at that. Beautifully detailed. Here's some of your fixtures for the outside of the boat, for the ropes. Very cool. I tell you, I have not seen one thing that I can complain about with this model, Steve. Not one thing. I mean, I just hope the directions are. I mean, I'll figure it out.
The molding is fantastic.
It's award-winning molding. It is award-winning. Now, this is the same thing, so I'm not going to show that. Now, here we go. We got the front of the Titanic. This would be the bridge. And then more room, same kind of details before. Absolutely fantastically molded, absolutely flawless. No problems with any of the molding. This is very similar to the other side. Again, I'm going to have to drill out all these holes. I'm going to drill all these out because I want light coming through all of it. You know what I mean? The Titanic, when she went down, she was lit up. You know, and I want to make sure that every... I may make some dimmer than others. You know what I mean? And I'll just use a tent to tent the different windows. So you'll get a different brightness. Some people, I mean, maybe some of them I'll have off because some people are asleep in their cabin and things like that. But I'll do it kind of very random. You know what I mean? So it looks very realistic. Okay, I don't know what these are. These are for, is that for,
oh, that's the top of the stack, it looks like.
I don't know, or is that for mixing tar heroin?
Well, that could do. Yeah.
Oh, more lifeboats. Now, so this is all the same.
Beautiful.
More lifeboats. Now we get into the davits. All the davits. Now, they didn't have enough lifeboats. We know this.
No, they didn't.
But look at all the davits. These, oh, I love these. These, when I was a kid, I loved it. This is one thing I loved. Seeing the hole that goes down into the ship, the little, I don't even know whether it must be to get air in and out. I don't know, but I'm going to drill all those out. So they'll be hollowed out. But you know what I'm talking about, right? I don't even know what you call those.
Ventilators.
Ventilators. Somebody's going to tell us. Oh, you dumbass! That's the whatever. Pope, you're stupid. Yeah, well, I barely graduated elementary school, so yeah. Yeah, but guess what? I'm unboxing the frickin' Titanic.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You're at home complaining. Okay, not much to see on this kind of play. I don't know if this is just like lower deck, but we got more. Yeah, that's the same as what we looked at. What are these? What do we got in here, Steve? Oh, this is cool. Some of the steam line, the lines, all the piping. Very well. Look how nicely detailed that is. How nicely molded that all is. I mean, and look at the little anchor. I don't know where that's not one of the anchors for the big part of the boat, but that's a little anchor, must be for one of the little. Man, they did such a nice job with this. Wouldn't you agree?
That is an exceptional kit.
Well, we still got tons more to look at. You know, while I'm putting this bag on, if you need to take a break and go to the bathroom or whatever, by all means, go get another beverage out of the refrigerator. Okay, what do we got here, Steve? We got, I don't even know. Just more, don't know. More little doodads. More doodads. Okay, so that was box A. Box A. Whew. You know what I think of when I'm looking at this, Steve? How freaking expensive these molds were. I worked at Hasbro, and everything came down to mold price. The mold is going to be too expensive. Too expensive. We can't do the, what was it? We can't do the USS Flag anymore. That was the largest Hasbro toy ever. The molds are too expensive. Here we go. We got the Titanic here. How expensive were these molds? These molds must have been $1 million.
I would think.
I mean, holy cow. Okay, let's look at this. We're going to save the LEDs for last, the very last, after we look at the hull. Okay, what is this? What is this? What do you think we got here? Is this a shuffleboard court?
Ooh.
Oh, more decks. These are the big decks. Oh, look at this. Again, perfectly molded. All the wood. Here's where your lifeboats go. Here's where all the action was. The morning of the disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Right over here is where I think they were playing, or here was Near to God to Thee was they were playing.
Over here was a poker game going on.
Poker game going here. Near to God to Thee was being played in there. And here was Astor and them standing by the staircase, sipping a brandy, going down with the ship. Going down like gentlemen, they said.
They did. They did.
They did, you know. Nowadays. Anyway, so it's more decks, very similar. I'm not going to take all of these out of it, but you get the idea that these are all the decks. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the big kahuna. The big reveal. Here we go. This is what everybody's been waiting for.
I have.
This is what everybody's been waiting for, including myself. This is a big moment, Steve. This is a big moment. Ladies and gentlemen. We need some champagne to crash into the bow.
Oh, let me get Harry.
Yeah,
We need some champagne back here.
Here she is, ladies and gentlemen.
There it is. Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Look at this. Oh, Oh my goodness. Look at this, Steve. Look at this beauty.
Superb. We'll get a look at that view. That's more impressive than a fisherman holding a striped bass.
Exactly. Exactly. Or a tuna.
A tuna.
Or
I don't know if you could pick up a tuna. Those are quite heavy.
you know, you can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish.
That's right.
Now, listen, I'm going to have to, here's the problem. It's not a problem at all. I have to, this is going to take me forever. I'm going to have to drill out every single one of these windows. Every single one of these windows, all the way down to here. This is for steerage, I guess, was down here.
Yeah, most likely.
And this is your first class cabins. So all of this is going to have to get drilled up. But just imagine how cool this is going to look when the lights, you know what I'm saying? You know, now look, a little tip. If you're going to do light, I think I've talked about this before. If you're going to do light on a plastic model, you're going to want to line the inside with something that keeps the light from showing through the plastic at all. Even though you think you got it painted really good, and you have a, and you may be able to get it painted good enough to where you won't see any of the light escape through any of the areas where maybe your paint wasn't as consistent. You may get a little glow of the light showing through the plastic, and that'll look terrible. So a way to eliminate that is align this with HVAC metal tape. It's adhesive, so you'll just lay it nice and flat all on the inside. It's metal, so the light cannot show through it. And you're going to want to line the entire bow with that. You're going to want to line the insides of those the components where light is going to shine through, so you're not getting any light seepage. And then once you get the tape in, then you're going to go in and drill out all your holes, and then you won't have any light escape. What do you think of that, Steve?
That's a beautiful home.
How cool is this going to look
That's,
in a children's hospital or a children's museum or whatever? If anybody's watching this, listen to me. If you have an idea of where you think I should donate this to, please message me. Let me know. Reach out at through my website, thepopoplastic.com. Or you can shoot me an email at thepopeofplastic@gmail.com, thepopeofplastic@gmail.com, or you can just shoot me a message right through YouTube here. And if you have an idea, you could say, hey, you know what? My child went to this hospital. They saved my child's life, and they'd be really interested in showing this, and might bring a smile to some kids' faces. And so please let me know if you have any ideas. It could be a children's museum, it could be whatever, but give me some ideas, and I'd certainly consider it. Wow. Now there is a seam line here, but that's easy enough. I'll get that all out. We do have one. This is the only seam line on the entire model is on the very bottom. I can live with that, Steve.
and you don't even notice it
You know,
in the bow.
you wouldn't even notice it, but I'm going to sand it out, of course.
Beautiful.
What a kit. Hey, look, I've unboxed a lot of models, Steve. I've unboxed a lot of models. This is the most impressive model I've ever... I mean, listen, in this scale, for a boat, Zuki Mura is still, when it comes to aircraft, unbelievably breathtaking, but this is breathtaking from the size, how well it's molded, how well it's packaged, everything it comes with. I mean, this is a bargain at... This kit was like $500. It's worth every penny. I mean, the mold charges alone, this model should be $2,000. You know, just because of the mold charges. How they can do it so cheaply, I don't know. Here is the LED set, okay, that comes with it. Very nice of them to give you an LED set. This would be expensive on its own. So we got all of our... It comes with a switch, but I'm going to do the brass switch so it looks like a Marconi. But it is USB, so maybe we would hide. I don't know. We'll figure that out. You got some transistors here. I'm not an electronic person, so this is going to be a learning curve for me. We got LEDs, relays, resistance, Red LEDs, red edged LEDs. That's cool. White LED wire with socket. Yellow LEDs. And here is going to be, I'll bet, a big roll of LED.
Maybe Pop-Tarts. They come in little bags.
This is, it is strawberry Pop-Tarts. No. Here's all your LED tape. So there's LED lights.
Oh, that's cool stuff.
There's LED lights on each. So you just put this tape on the inside, and once you connect it, it lights up. How cool is that, huh? This is pretty cheap. You can find this, and that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to add.
I wonder if you have to solder or anything.
Well, we're going to look. Yes, you do have to solder. We're going to look at the instructions here just quickly. How cool is that, Steve? Cool, huh?
That's going to be really nice.
Yeah.
I saw one with
With what?
what was the clear cable back in the 80s, the
Oh,
fiber optic.
fiber optic.
I saw one with a fiber optic lighting system. one
A
time.
fiber optic is what you use out by the hot tub. When we were with the old lady, you had the fiber optic, around the hot tub.
Oh, didn't that look nice?
Yeah.
That,
You take your old lady out there and, do whatever you're gonna do out there on the hot tub. But you got that fiber optic light,
Yeah.
strung up on the fence, on the PVC fence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't like PVC fence.
Okay, so there's that. Where's the other? Here it is. Let's just quickly look before we close this up. Let's take a look at the LED instructions. I bet people would like to see that, don't you think? So here's your assembly instructions for the LEDs. Beautiful how that. Now mine is going to have lights all the way down. They only give you enough light. The coolest thing is the lights, the uplighting for the funnels. Isn't that cool?
That really nice.
And the green light, the red light, and the... That's cool. That is cool. Okay, so let's look at this. So here's all your components. I like how it's photographed in color. Seems, look, I got to give it to Mr. Wong on this one. It looks like he's got nice step-by-step photos for each thing that you have to do. And then you're putting the strips in here. And then you're just continuing on. I think this is the kind of thing after you do it a couple times, you'll probably be able to zip through it. You know what I mean? Once you understand what has to solder where, what little transistor has to be. So I think once you do one section, it'll probably be fairly easy, and you probably go along pretty good. But there is a lot. You are adding a lot of LED in here, and there is a lot of soldering that you're going to have to do. See in here. Now you're going to have to do all of this. You got to make this decision before you build the model. Are you doing LEDs or are you not doing LEDs? Because this all gets done before you close it up in the model.
And
So
don't use one of the big Weller soldering guns that.
No, I wouldn't use a welding machine for this. An arc welder probably wouldn't work too good on this.
You need a nice fine point.
Yes. And I do have one. I have a nice hobby soldering iron. But this is cool. So you get all the light in here. You're putting all the lights kind of in the middle. They have it molded in the middle, so you put the LEDs here so it's not right up against the window. I'll bet that's going to look really nice. I am probably going to do a thin film over the windows, behind the windows, and tint it a little bit, certain ones a little bit yellow, some, you know what I mean, just so you get a variation of color. That's just the way my mind works. Here's inside the bridge. Might do some cutouts of some silhouettes of some people, so when the light shines, it looks like there's people inside. What do you think of that idea?
Great idea. Great.
I did see a company that does sell the set of like 2,000 people for the Titanic. All resin figures. Can you imagine that?
Figures.
Yeah. Can you imagine? No, thank you. I'll stick with some little cardboard cutouts to make it look right. Ladies and gentlemen, my oh my, I mean, that's I'm almost speechless, which is very rare for me
I am.
to become speechless. There wasn't as much normal tomfoolery during this unboxing that there normally is, because this is a special. We owe a depth of gratitude for Trumpeter to produce this kit. And Trumpeter, my hat's off to you for producing this beautiful, beautiful model kit that I cannot wait to give. And more importantly, I can't wait to build and to give to a children's organization. So once again, if you know anybody that would be fitting for this, just remember, shipping on this will be crazy expensive. So hopefully it's something in somebody in the New England area that we can drive this to and not have to build in a giant crate for the thing. But if you want to come and pick it up, but I'm going to be there for whatever ceremony it is, and everybody who gives money to help build this thing, and you're going to get your name on the plaque, you will certainly be invited when we give this away. And again, if you want to give $20 for the cost to build this and the extras and all this other stuff, so we can give it to a children's museum, to get your name on the plaque will be $20, and you can PayPal or Zelle to Rick, R-I-C-K, Shad, S-C-H-A-D, @gmail.com. I'll put it in the description. That's my alter ego. Here I'm known as the Popoplastic. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve, I mean, I'm almost teary-eyed right here. This is a tribute to the people that lost their lives on that in the cold Atlantic on April
12th. April 15th.
April 15th.
Income tax day.
Tax Day.
April 15th, 1912.
Yes. And our hearts go out to all of them. Our hearts will go on. Right?
Think of them whenever you shop at Macy's.
Yes. This was fantastic. And once again, Harry, thank you. Thank you, Harry and Harry's Hobbies, for getting this for me. This is going to be great. I can't wait to build this. We'll be building this soon. And we got a couple models ahead of it, but we'll be building this thing. We will be building it this year. So if you can give to help get this built, I'd appreciate it. Now listen, Sunday, don't miss it. Do not miss Sunday. Sunday, May 18th, the world's greatest model show in the history of model shows.
Oh, it's going to be big.
It is going to be incredible at the Franklin Elks Lodge. It is going to be spectacular, and I need you there. We need you there. Harry needs the support. We need to keep these model shops in business, and by doing some of these little shows, we can do that. Oh. And remember, you could win this Best in Show trophy. I mean, you know what? Look, the Kentucky Derby has their trophy. The Masters has their trophy.
Indy 500.
The Indy 500, the Super Bowl.
Sure.
This is
fantastic.
The most coveted model trophy in model building.
Oh, by all means.
The Golden PP. The Golden PP, which is the Golden Popoplastic. The Golden PP. You could be taking a Golden PP home on Sunday, and I hope to see you there. Remember, like and subscribe, everybody. Please share this. This is a special one, so share this one with your friends. Hit the share button. That's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm not asking for, subscription doesn't cost anything. Just hit the subscribe button, the like button, the heart button, make a goofy comment, whatever you want to do. But share this with your friends and relatives. Gather the family around and rewatch this as a family. This is what the hobby's all about.
Make it a Christmas tradition.
Make it a Christmas tradition. Watch this every Christmas, together.
Along with It's a Wonderful Life.
Wonderful Life, and then run this video. Absolutely.
Wouldn't
Or better yet, watch this video on April 15th every year. Right?
Fantastic idea.
Bob Ballard, if you're out there, I know you discovered the Titanic, but Bob, this will be a great for you and your family. To sit around and watch this. It'll probably bring some memories back to you as well. Everybody, that's enough. This was a great one. Who knows what we'll have next week? It's going to be hard. Well, next week, I can tell you, Steve, real quick, a special. It won't be an unboxing next week. Next week is going to be a highlight from the hobby show.
Ooh.
I'm going to walk around. I'm going to look at kits. I'm going to be judging. I'm going to be talking. And so next week's video will be a special, another one. Grab the family. Get everybody. Go, if Gramps is in the nursing home, go over to the nursing home and bring the whole family and turn on the Pope of Plastic when I do the Harry's Hobbies Model Show Spectacular, which will be next week. Next Friday.
And it's not even pay-per-view.
Not even pay-per-view, but gather the family. Gather the family. If your husband's in prison doing hard time, go over there and show it to him on the phone through the window while you hold the phone up, as you have to talk to him through the glass, the
That's
two-way.
a great idea.
Yeah, so if you're going to visit him on a Sunday, he's been put away for the rest of his life or whatever. Who knows what for? This would be a great opportunity to put a little cheer in his step. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Big.
I love you all. Thank you so much. Episode number 14 is now in the books. We will see you next Friday for a very special Harry's Hobbies Model Show Spectacular. Remember, like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.